Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to another beautiful day in the beautiful life. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Hope you are safeguarding your energy. What is today's topic going to touch on today? Something about being free in an unfree world. Yeah, being free. Like I feel like people who are heavily immersed in the worldly things, they probably feel a lot of pressure and stress. They probably feel like they have to perform. I have to do things. I have to be a certain way. I have to, like, yeah, basically be a performing monkey so that I can be successful in the world. Isn't that a bunch of ludicrous? Anyways, let me light the Palo Santo and cleanse the space. Yeah, so how to be free in an unfree world? Well, there's different, I want to say, levels and degrees of freedom, like anything. um, and I'm just going to talk about what comes to mind, as I always do. And then I also don't really know what's going to come out my mouth until it comes out of my mouth. Cleanse the space. Yes. Yeah, yeah. First of all, you have to like sit with yourself. I mean, that's pretty much the secret to everything is silence. But a lot of people can't stand silence, and because we've been programmed to be like overactive and overstimulated, and we need to like do all these weird things in order to feel. I don't know. What are we? What are we? We're trying to fill the void. That's what we're trying to do, and we're thinking, oh, if I buy more houses and more cars and more clothes and more shoes and more makeup and more whatever, eat, eat, eat. I'm a foodie. Let me go eat, eat, eat. Yeah, we're gonna. Excuse me. We're gonna finally feel satiated. But all of these things are binding, binding agents, even relationships. A lot of people are like, I need to find my soulmate. I need to be in a partnership. I need to have children. I need to. These are all binding agents. And if you are currently bound, then that's cool. But this video is about being free in an unfree world. Think about it. For me, like, yeah, you have to obviously be able to sit with yourself in silence, because that's when you can see and hear yourself clearly. Yourself away from worldly interpretations and influences, and then you have to like be like, okay, where am I currently stuck? Let me start working on unstucking myself in that particular aspect of my life. Pretty much. Like, if you like, I think a big one is money. Like, everybody wants to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire. I want to make six figures a year. Dude, I just saw this video. Oh, it was the best video ever. I don't even know why it ended up in my YouTube feed, but yeah, this 80-year-old dude bought some acreage of land in North Carolina for $800 back in the day, and he was surviving and thriving off of $10,000 a month. And the way he'd make his income was off of the herbs, and he would create like natural remedies and tinctures, and then he would teach herbology. Um, Here and there, and yeah, he survived off of $10,000 a year. So, and he seemed rich. He was rich in knowledge. He was very wise. He was living a very, I want to say, free life. So if you want to look at money, yeah, they've gotten us. I want to say, oh my God, it's raining. I love the rain. Sorry, I get distracted easily. But yeah, if you were to think about money, like, okay, cool, like, I don't know, some people want to make six figures, some people want to make $1 million, some people want to make $1 billion, as $1 trillion. But then what? Will you be satiated? Or will you be wanting more? Will you be a megalomaniac wanting more power? Yeah, and then more money, more problems, right? No, if you were to sit back and go, okay, Like, I don't really want to work so hard at a particular job for somebody else. How can I reduce my costs, my cost of living, so that I don't have to fucking work so hard for everyone else, and I can just spend most of the time on myself, Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like what is that word called? Itemize, budget, manage your finances in such a way that you don't really have to work. So, like, example, like, do you really need to buy that $50,000 car? And that's just, and then it like depreciates in value once you drive it off the lot. And then the maintenance fees, and then also the gas, the petrol that you'd have to spend money on to fill it to get you from point A to point B. Or can you just, I don't know, like keep your old car or like buy a secondhand car and maintain that for a fraction of the cost? And it's all about your energy. You know what I mean? So it's just like, what's more important? What's your priority in life? Is it accumulating more debt, more bills, more stuff, or freeing yourself from that stuff? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I am glad to say that up until now, I feel like I have made some satisfactory choices in life because, yeah, I don't have to work a full time job. I don't have to work 5 days a week. And it's fucking amazing. I want to get to a point where I don't have to work at all, honestly, and I can just play and create and sell my wares. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, like I said in another video, I'm still trying to figure that out. Also, relationships. When you're trying to look for someone else to complete you, instead of completing yourself, that's a bind, and then you could be bound to somebody who just really doesn't treat you right or doesn't have your best interest in mind, who's a parasite, who's a liar, who's a cheater. I mean, you could come across somebody who operates from the same space as you do and holds the same sense of integrity and standards. But in this world, believe it or not, I don't know. There's 8 billion people on the planet, and these people are like gems. Like, they're rare and hard to find. So, yeah, just be careful who you're binding yourself to. And this includes family, friends, acquaintances, coworkers, partners, especially. Be careful. I'm working towards sovereignty. And that's what this video is about. How to be free in an unfree world. Also, get the fuck off of social media. Because I don't know, like for me, I'm so glad that I passed through that phase and I'm in a place where I really don't care about social media. Yeah. Because a few times that I've hopped on, it's kind of like watching television. I haven't watched television in a decade, but a few times that I've hopped on, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, if I like watch something on TV, I've noted that for every 5 to 7 minutes of the movie or program that I'm watching, I get interrupted with commercials like every 5 to 7 minutes for approximately 10 minutes. So it's like, yeah, that's very binding. They're trying to mentally influence you on a subconscious level, to like buy a bunch of stuff, take a bunch of drugs that you don't. Oh my God, talking about that. I don't know about you guys, but it's like they're coming up with new diseases every day. And they're just making up all this bullshit. It's like, what? Like, you just came up with a new disease and a new pill? Like, what's going on here? Yeah. Be aware of binding agent so that you don't get bound to it. And what I mean by that is that you don't believe the story that's being told. You don't let someone else dictate your reality or your perception. I've noticed like a lot of things are just projections. Like, for instance, today, like I was at work, and my boss, she's kind of high strung. She kind of has like a very unruly nervous system, very anxious, very catastrophizes everything. And she was trying to pull me into that story, her storyline. And I was just looking at her like, okay, like that doesn't really bother me. Yeah, seriously, when you go out in the world, look and you interact with people, just take note. a lot of them are projecting. They're projecting their mental storyline onto you, and they're trying to like pull you in, lure you in, and like bind you. And no, thank you. Just go. "Oh, okay, I see you. I see that you are dysregulated and you don't handle changes well because your adaptability program is very, what is that word I'm trying to say? Very, the opposite of mature, man. I don't know what that word is. Immature? You have an immature um, adaptability program that still needs to be grown, and that's not my problem. And then you just watch a show. Yeah, a lot of it is projection. You got to be, where it gets tricky is you got to watch yourself so you're not projecting. Like for me, I tend to like look at things through a lens where like I see silver linings and everything. I don't know if that's good or bad, honestly, but yeah. So if somebody's like freaking out about something, like I'll just look at the silver lining, and then I don't know. I don't. Is that toxic positive? I don't think so. I should explore that honestly. No, because I recognize there's an issue. I recognize there's a change that is currently being implemented, but I don't lose my shit. I've told people this, like people who struggle with anxiety, like, and I might have mentioned it in my videos, but yeah, like for me, I will feel anxious and I will turn that anxiety into curiosity. Like, and I will get super excited versus somebody who turns that anxiety into fear and then they start catastrophizing. Then they start ruminating and looping this catastrophic story that they're telling themselves and then they project it out into the world. No, like for me, like if something occurs that, I don't know, that gives me anxiety, I'll either sit with it, like I'll acknowledge, okay, right now I'm feeling anxious. And I'll sit with it until it passes. Or I'll recognize that I'm anxious about something and I'll just trick my brain into believing that it's fun and exciting. Yeah, I gaslight myself, guys, in the best way possible. Yeah, because I mean, if you're going to expend your energy on anything, like why are you going to make yourself crazy? Are you going to make yourself afraid? When you could be like moving into it with ease and grace and curiosity and excitement. Like I've seen people freak out on trying like a new food. And I'm like, whoa, like what? Like, oh, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I don't want to try that. I'm afraid. And I'm like, what the fuck are you afraid for? Like, you should just try it. And then from there, you can figure out if that's something that you like or you don't like. And if you like it, then you can add that to the list of things that you like. If you don't like it, you could add it to the things you don't like. But how will you know if you are afraid and then you prevent yourself from expansion and trying new things? You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I've also like thought about it. Like I'm a very kind and generous person, to a fault. But in this era of my life, I'm discerning, and these are the things. Okay, I will not help someone who is not willing to help themselves. Period. I'm not extending my generosity and my grace and my care to people who don't want to care for themselves. I'm not here to provide piggyback rides. Okay. I'm not here to let people ride on my coattails. Like, I will only extend my energy, my time, my attention, and possibly my resources to people who are willing to help themselves. Period. If they're not trying, then forget it. No, thank you. Like, what are we doing here? I'm enabling at this point. I'm enabling you to just stay in a victim mentality and not grow from anything. What are we doing here? I'm not like a free buffet or ATM. Yeah. What else? Oh, yeah, just be mindful of binding agents, guys, and then start removing the binds. They call it cord cutting. They call it like surrendering. They call it like energetic release. Yeah, do that. And for me, like, I don't know, everybody's so different. Like, some people do it through dancing. Like, I had a friend that would dance things out. Like, he had to physically move his body to get the stuff out of him. For me, I can just like sit in place and just pinpoint the thought and the belief system and the story and the projection. And then I can just dissolve it in my mind because it all starts from the mind. Universe is mental. The universe is mental. What does that mean? Hold on, let me get the book. Yeah, back in the day when I used to read books, this was my starting point, guys. The Kybalion Hermetic philosophy. If you would like to explore and I don't know if you're a curious person like me. Yeah, this was the starting point. I have like an extensive library of books, but this was the starting point, and it's amazing. Let's see. It literally says, man, the universe is mental. I think that might be the first chapter. Hmm. Chapter 1. Okay, I'm going to pause the video so you don't just watch me like spin through these pages, okay? Hold on. Okay, right here. The all is mind, the universe is mental. This principle embodies the truth that all is mind. It explains that the all, which is the substantial reality underlying all the outward manifestations and appearances, which we know under the terms of material universe and matter, energy. All that is apparent to our material senses is spirit, which in itself is unknowable and undefinable, but which may be considered and thought of as a universal, infinite living mind. The all is mind. The universe is such, it starts in your mind. I'm not talking about your brain either, man. Your brain is a bully. But yeah, your mind, like, how do I say this? I had it. The mind is your projector, right? And you are a conduit. And that's why it's called projections, right? Your mind is projecting imagery outwards based on how it is perceiving things through the five senses, and then your attention is your energy, and it's like pushing out this imagery and all these stories and stuff in the mind. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm going to stop. Why am I still holding this lighter in my hand? I don't know. But if you learned something from this video, I feel like I wasn't really clear. I really didn't elaborate much, but this is like um, a really short and simple to the point thing. Yeah, just unbind yourself from everything that is depleting, anything that makes you feel weighed down. And it's very complex. And honestly, I've spent so much time alone with myself pondering that I've come to some pretty interesting insights. But oh my God, yeah, coming to this world, they have definitely, I want to say, binded you through all these constructs and projections. But my whole thing is like once you're aware of the constructs and the projections, it starts externally and then you work your way into like the layers within self. And then once you pinpoint the stuff in yourself that is also binding, yeah, you just relinquish those storylines, identities, egos, mental thoughts, stories, belief systems. I mean, you just start unraveling everything until you get to yourself, which is what we're all trying to do, right? We're trying to live authentically, whether people realize this or not. But until then, they'll be confused and they'll be like racking their brain, like, why is my life going the way it's going? And why? It's your choices, man. You're making choices in every freaking moment, Like, I choose to do this, or I choose to do that, or I choose not to do this, or I choose not to do that. It's all you, and you have the power to live free in an unfree world. Starts with you. You are the 0 point. You are the axis point. You know, just depends if you want to let other people use your energy and your time, or if you want to take that shit back because it's yours. Anyways, I'm going to go. Blessings to one and all. Thank you for stopping by. And if you have watched up until now, thank you so much. You have great attention span. I will commend you again. All right. Till next time. Bye.